Well, I was instructed to walk up to her and engage her in a small discussion as to why I was meeting with her, and then eventually handing her a flyer.
Okay. Is that what you did?
Yes.
Excuse me, Mrs. Adelson? How you doing? Just want to give you this. Listen.
You're scared.
No, don't be scared. Listen, I just want to let you know that we know that your family has been taking care of Katie and her friend Luca for quite some time after your problem up north has been resolved. And I want to let you know that my brother, he's incarcerated. He helped your family with this problem you guys had up north. And we want to make sure that he's going through some rough times. And we want to make sure that you take care of what he's going through, the way you're taking care of Katie and Tuzo. Well, this will explain it. Thank you.
When you say you were friendly to her, was that what you said? You were friendly to her?
I was told to be very polite to her.
And were you?
I was.
Did you invite her out to lunch?
No, not exactly.
Okay. And who's Tuto?
Tuto, from what I understand, was Sigfredo Garcia.
And who was Tato?
Tato was Luis Rivera.
You have a really interesting accent.
Yeah, it's because I'm fluent in Spanish. Yes.
Okay. Are you of Spanish descent, or you just have learned that?
I am.
You are? Okay. Thank you. You do it very well.
Thank you.
And who is the first person that the defendant calls after the bump?
Charlie Adelson.
Okay. Did someone write a letter to you or something?
I've got some paperwork hand delivered to me.
You're being sued?
No, that's what I thought it was, but I'm going to talk to you.
Did Dad know about this?
The dad's at work today, fortunately.
What's, I can't, is it IRS or?
You know, the IRS people, they kind of bother you sometimes, but, you know, unfortunately not now.
Okay.
So I will talk to you. I'll give you a heads up if I'm going to drive up that way.
Alright.
Okay? And,
Is Wendy all right? Is it involved Wendy?
No. So let me just talk to you later, and
What is it? Is that his health okay?
Yeah.
Does it involve me or other people?
Well, probably both of them.
What's that?
Probably the two of them. So you probably have a general idea what I'm talking about.
Do you know who sent it to you?
I have a pretty good idea.
How long was the letter?
Well, it's just a copy of all of what was written in the letter. That was written in a copy of that letter.
Is the person threatening you?
You know, I don't think we should.
Actually, I mean, it's kind of thing, if there's a threat, you go to the police.
Yeah.
But anyway, let me,
I think that's a good idea.
I don't think it's, people threaten, you gotta go to the police.
It's clear what's wanted.
What is it, kind of fancy, what do they ask for?
You know, I don't know, this TV is probably about 5.
They ask you for $5,000?
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You mentioned, you know, an ex-girlfriend. Hey,
Hey, sorry about that. Quick question for you. Well, one thing I was going to tell you, obviously, don't talk about things in the apartment or any place.
Oh, obviously.
Obviously, don't talk about things in the apartment or any place. And she says, obviously, right?
That's correct.
Why?
That's a good question.
Did you have the apartment bugged?
No, we did not.
Did the gang member have the apartment bugged?
No, we didn't.
Did the undercover say anything about Charlie Adelson or Donna's son?
No.
Did
that's
the
incorrect.
undercover reference Charlie Adelson at all?
No, he did not.
When Donna Adelson relayed to Charlie what the undercover did she say they mentioned you?
No.
When Ms. Adelson is talking on this call that we just heard, she says that the undercover, quote, mentioned an ex-girlfriend. Does she say the name of the ex-girlfriend
No.
to Charlie Adelson?
No, she doesn't.
All right. Did the undercover say the name of an ex-girlfriend to Donna Adelson?
Yes, he did.
What did he say?
He said Katie and Tudo.
Okay.
Okay, I just want you to listen to me. I'll be able to talk to you in person when I see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I don't know what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
but my mom walked the kids. I only heard part of the story,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to go down there and talk to her tomorrow to find out what's going on.
Okay.
Because she didn't want to elaborate,
Uh-huh.
but she said that someone approached her on the street,
Uh-huh.
called her by name,
Mm-hmm.
handed her an envelope with something in it.
Yeah.
And she really wouldn't go into detail. I have no idea what this is in reference to,
Uh-huh.
but something regarding her son, something regarding his ex-girlfriend, and the person asking my mom for some money.
What?
Yes, but you spoke in code.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understood you were speaking in code because you might be tapped, right?
Yes,
Somebody
ma'am.
might be listening.
Yes, ma'am.
But there would be no reason to speak in code if you hadn't done anything wrong. Will you agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Innocent people don't talk in code, do they?
No, ma'am.
No further questions. And then the meeting that we're about to talk about was at the Dolce Vita restaurant. Are you?
If they had any of it, they would have already knocked on your door. And the problem is, even if they bug this, even if they bug your whole phone, nobody will bug you. But even if they even if they don't bug your phone, okay, you're even if they bug your phone, you're still not talking about anything. So my point is, how do you get people to talk? You throw smoke grenades, and then you get all the cockroaches to run out. There's smoke in the house, there's smoke in the house.
Trip over that. I try to approach you, so I'm trying to get in front of it. Good morning.
Good morning.
You've been testifying for quite some time.
Yes, ma'am.
Listened to a lot of phone calls.
We have.
And now it's cross-examination, so on behalf of Mrs. Adelson, I need to talk to you about those things.
Yes, ma'am.
We may replay all of them. I'm kidding, I'm not going to do that.
Thank you.
I wouldn't do that to anybody in this room. From that date that she's interviewed there and she gives statements, fair to say that her family become suspects.
It depends on whose definition of suspects you have, but they are persons of interest.
Persons of interest, okay, from that time period.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How many suspects did you have from the time Mr. Markel was killed through Donna Adelson being arrested?
Suspects?
Yes, sir.
I would call them persons of interest.
I'm sorry, we'll use your word.
Yeah, we had a lot of persons of interest throughout the case.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you a number, but there was numerous.
You followed up on numerous persons of interest.
Yes, ma'am.
How long were there numerous persons of interest before you were focused in on the Adelson family?
About a year.
A year?
Yes, ma'am.
So you didn't consider in the first year the Adelson family as persons of interest?
I considered them. You asked me if I was focused, and I was focused about a year in.
Okay. On them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you ever initially assumed that one person might be a suspect or a person of interest, and later it turned out that they were not the one that committed the crime?
Not a suspect, no ma'am.
No? Not a person of interest?
Maybe a person of interest, yes. Not a suspect.
You've been right from the time you thought that they were a person of interest through them being arrested. Not made a mistake.
As a suspect I deem as somebody we have probable cause on.
Okay. There are, even though you don't have recorded calls until the bump, I guess?
That's fair to say. I could be mistaken, but I think that's probably the first recorded calls.
And when I say recorded calls, I mean the wire calls. That's what you have that you've testified to here in court.
We had some wire calls prior to the bump, like about a week before the bump.
Mr. Rivera, are you referring to?
No ma'am, we started the wire before the bump.
Okay, give me those dates.
I can refresh my note, look at my notes, refresh my memory.
Yeah, please do. Okay, and were you actually listening in on the calls as well?
No ma'am, I was mostly in South Florida.
Okay.
During a lot of the wire.
Okay.
I would go in there and review calls, because we could go in there and they would mark them pertinent, what was pertinent, non-pertinent, so we would have to go in and listen to calls that had already been made and recorded, and that's where we would have to go to listen to them.
Okay, when you say mark permanent, what did you say?
Pertinent.
Pertinent, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Pertinent or not pertinent? You said they're marked that way. Did you get some kind of printout or something that showed you that?
There's a database, computer database, that we could go in and log in and see these calls listed. Yeah, he did.
And a lot of the calls that he made to his mother that you've listened to, he's talking to her between these appointments, right?
He is.
Okay.
During appointments sometimes too, it sounds like.
Did you have a law enforcement interview in this case?
I did. I did not know I was being recorded, but yes.
It was recorded.
I
right?
was,
You
yes.
had a chance to review it?
Many times, yes.
And in that interview, did you say, quote, like they weren't ever curious, like who really killed him? They weren't upset about it, it seemed like. Did you say that?
If it's there, yes, I said that.
And in that, after that bump, did everything sort of change in your relationship with Charlie Adelson?
During and after, absolutely.
Is that something that he reported to you? Were you aware that that happened with his mom?
No, definitely not.
He didn't say
Not
anything?
during the time.
Was there something that stood out to you about how the hitmen said they were paid?
I did read the affidavit and everything, which said Lewis or somebody mentioned they were paid in staples, like bundles of cash with staples.
And why
in it.
did that stand out to you?
Because I noticed that Charlie.
Did Charlie Adelson make a statement to you about Katherine Magbanua's breast augmentation?
After the 2020 episode, he made a statement and joked about it, yes.
What did he say?
He was saying they were thinking that he paid for the whole thing, and then he said, like he said he paid for one or something and laughed.
Only paid for one of the breasts. Half of the work.
Right, but he was laughing, so it was just a joke.
Okay. Did he talk to you during this time frame about believing his phone was being tapped?
Yes, a lot.
Did you notice an issue between Charlie Adelson and Wendy Adelson during this time frame?
I wasn't too involved with them, but I did notice one time they got into an argument.
All right, and did he tell you it was a fight about this case?
He just said that it was something about the case, yes.
What about Donna Adelson? Did her behavior change at all around this time frame that we're talking about?
So I wasn't around her a lot, but when I did see her, yes, she was upset.
Okay, and did you describe her as a mess?
Yes, if it's there, yes.
What does a mess mean?
Just like mentally upset and physically drained, or not their usual self.
All right, was she crying when you saw her?
At a point in time, yes.
And did Charlie Adelson advise you that she was taking painkillers for stress during that time frame?
Yes.
And was there a time when you were on the balcony of Donna Adelson's residence and she made a statement to you about Dan Markel?
We were speaking about Dan because the case was such a big thing at that time, yes.
Okay, and what was the statement she made?
Well, her life was crumbling down and her family's life, so she said everything felt like Dan was haunting her from the grave, or them, I don't know, whatever it says there.
She feels like Dan's back from the grave, like haunting her or something.
In reference to that, yes. I don't, yeah.
No further questions?
You were testifying under oath then, correct? Every single time that you've given these... I'm sorry. You were under oath, correct?
I'm sorry?
Please answer out loud to all questions, just don't nod your head.
Oh, okay.
Because the court reporter can't put down that you're nodding your head.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the answer was yes, you were under oath.
Yes, I think if it says that, then yes.
Well, you took an oath here today before you started testifying, correct?
Yes.
And the other trials, you did the same thing. You swore to tell the truth, right?
Right.
And did Charlie Adelson talk to you about the bump? His mom being
yes, ma'am.
approached? Okay, and prior to that, had Charlie Adelson ever mentioned being harassed or extorted or anything like that?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so when this happened with his mother, did his demeanor change? How was he acting about this incident?
Charlie became agitated, nervous, anxiety. I guess looking back now, guilty, just abnormal.
Okay. Did he ever make a statement to you about murder?
He made the statement at one time that you could get away with anything if you keep your mouth shut, and implied murder.
All right.
So, but I'm thinking to myself, these people aren't looking for a check. They're not. What do they want you to do? What's the one thing they want?
You know what they want, but I mean,
There's nothing.
they want true. It's not.
I got it, but they don't know that. So what do you think the one thing they want? They want everybody to start talking.
Mhm.
They want you to hand deliver yourself, because they think you know something, but they want you to hand deliver yourself and start talking as much as you can when you walk in. Because otherwise, if they were to just come to you tomorrow and say, I mean, they get the same result, but I'm saying, if the cops were to come to you tomorrow and say, Donna, come down to the station with us, we need to talk to you. You'd be like, you know, I don't need this aggravation. Give me your business card. If I can help you or hear of anything, I absolutely will. Right? That's what the answer would be. But if you go ahead and you make it seem like, you know, you're being extorted or blackmailed or anything, or something crazy like that, then what are you going to do? You're going to run down there and start talking yourself. Exactly.
It's so clever of them.
What's that?
It's clever of them. It's
Of course,
doing it of them.
these are not, first of all, this is not someone who started doing this yesterday.
Mhm.
So this is not, this is not someone who's dumb. This is someone who's super smart. And they know, listen, a lot of times this is what goes on. If someone comes, you know, but it's real odd that it's a year. The amount of time that's passed is insane. But the point is listen, someone is being paid a lot of money to do a job, right? So they're trying to investigate. How do you get the investigation going? You stir the pot of soup, and you see what comes up from the bottom.
Torture will continue until morale improves. All right, let's skip to RR. Could you say Dugan?
I took a position directly next to Mr. Harvey Adelson because it was extremely loud in the restaurant. I put the bag directly on the sushi bar between myself and Mr. Harvey Adelson.
Okay. And what does it mean to get made?
Obviously, when you get made, they identify who you are and they know you're up to, maybe they identify that you're law enforcement or they know what you're doing.
And do you think that might have happened on this effort?
I think it was pretty obvious that my actions were probably a little suspicious to them, correct.
So upon learning that they're being investigated for murder, how did they react to that?
They seem pretty happy about it.
Really happy about it.
Yeah.
Sustained. Members of the jury are to disregard the last answer.
And wasn't the gist of how you got made that the undercover wasn't nasty enough?
Right.
It's not done like that. You got to have a beard and a hat and glasses, and you got to make threats and all that kind of thing, right?
Correct.
After the wire gets made, it's kind of business as usual, right? Back to Wendy and her love life, that sort of thing.
For them, yes.
And when Ms. Magbanua was arrested, you testified that you received a call from someone who identified himself as Charlie's attorney, correct?
After her arrest, the gentleman that called my number was he identified himself as an attorney for Charlie Adelson.
Not Donna Adelson.
Not Donna.
Now, is it unusual in an investigation like this for a defense attorney to contact you about whether or not there's a warrant for their client's arrest?
I wouldn't say that. It was shocking to me that within that short a time frame, the only way that this person would have knowledge would be from Magbanua's attorney. So there would be contact between Magbanua's attorney and this person identifying himself as Charlie's attorney in a short, very short time. No media, nothing had been divulged.
So according to this text, Charlie Adelson's attorney was talking to Garcia's attorney, and he's letting his mother, Donna Adelson, know that in this message?
Yes.
Who did Marcus run into when he met with Garcia's lawyer?
Katie.
I believe 73A and 73 have been admitted at this point. They're in evidence. The objections are overruled.
How does Donna Adelson respond to this?
To the small world comment, she replies that it is, and then he goes on to discuss the meeting.
So does he say that his attorney said they said hi to each other, they shook hands, he introduced himself, and she is nice and beautiful?
Correct.
Okay, and how does Donna Adelson respond?
Like all your girlfriends. Charlie Adelson says, did you see in the paper where the state star witness that rented the hotel room is a convicted cocaine dealer? Maybe those guys were just up in Tallahassee buying drugs and just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe the coke dealer did it because Danny did not pay him for his drugs, just like he stiffed everyone else he did business with. This whole thing is just crazy.
According to Charlie Adelson, and according to him, he and his mother had been extorted for almost a year and a half as of a couple months ago.
That'd be correct.
In this message from Charlie Adelson, though, does it appear to spitball another theory of Dan Markel's murder besides the extortion, that they've supposedly been extorted for the last 2 years by the killers?
It does, yes.
Right. Fast forward to 2016. Do you remember in May of 2016 when Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera were arrested?
Yeah, I do. I saw it in the OR lounge. Someone told me about it. So it had to be like a Wednesday, and
And you were in the the operating room lounge?
Yeah, it was
and
the
someone
lounge.
told you about
Yes,
it?
it was someone else, because,
Okay.
stories like this people see on Twitter or such, and I remember someone telling me, like, hey, did you hear about, that case, because it's, more than one person had followed it, and, I saw it, and then, that was on the 26th, and I remember the dates because our anniversary is on the 28th of May. My wife and I were like, should we call them? Like, they arrested some guy who killed Danny. And
When you say them, you mean like should we
my
call
parents.
my parents? And
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it was big news that even people you work with were seeing that there were finally some arrests made.
Right.
Okay. And that was 2 days before your anniversary, you said?
Yes.
Okay. So did you and your wife eventually talk to your parents?
We did. Like, we thought, like, should we call them? And we figured, if they wanted to call us, they would call us, and then they didn't. And so we figured, well, they'll call us on our anniversary, and so we can just sit tight. And I'm sure it's pretty stressful. And this guy was arrested in Miami, and so they called us on our anniversary, which was the 28th.
Okay, so that was 2 days after the arrest, I think.
2 days after I found out. Yes.
2 days after you found out. Thank you. So on the 28th, did you talk to Donna Adelson?
Yes.
All right. And when she called you, was she telling you the good news that Danny's killers were arrested?
No, she just called us for our anniversary, and wished us well, and had some small talk for a bit. I kind of let it go for a little bit. I mean, this was not small news, and so I finally broached the topic and said, they found the guy, they arrested someone who killed Danny. There's no response, and I said it, at least 2 or 3 times that, they arrested, they made an arrest, they got the guy who killed Danny. Yeah, and then her response was, I've got to go.
And then did she hang up the phone after that?
Yes.
And did you ever talk to her about it again, ever after that?
No. That was the last time I spoke to her.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
You were best friends with her.
Yes.
Okay. And she would call and vent to you about Danny Markel.
Sometimes.
All right. And did she ever call him names?
Not to my knowledge, not to me.
Did she share with you that she was planning to offer a bribe to Mr. Markel to facilitate relocation?
I don't recall.
Did she talk to you about plans to threaten or to convert the children to Christianity in order to strong-arm Mr. Markel?
She mentioned that she had said that, and she said that was so foolish of me.
Okay. When did she say that?
I don't know whether we were together or on a phone call. I'm not sure.
Did she ever tell you that she was being extorted in reference to Mr. Markel's murder?
Eventually, yes.
Okay. And when you say eventually, when did she tell you that?
We were on a trip to Japan together.
Okay. When was the trip to Japan?
We took so many trips, I'm not exactly sure of the year.
Was it between the murder and the first arrests?
I don't recall.
Okay. And when she told you that she was being extorted, then naturally you learned that she knew who had killed Dan Markel.
No.
Obviously it's the people that are extorting her, right?
She didn't know what, are you talking about? Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
She was forced to make payments to the people that killed Dan Markel.
Yes.
That's what the checks were all about, right?
I don't know about the checks.
Well, when she told you she was being extorted, if it wasn't about the checks, how was she being extorted?
I'm confusing that with the bump, I believe. That Charlie was being extorted by Katherine.
Prior to the bump, you knew that Charlie was being extorted by Katherine.
No, I believe it was afterwards.
After the bump, you learned that Charlie was being extorted by Katherine.
I'm not sure of the timeline.
Okay. And when you learned that Charlie was being extorted by Katherine, you learned that your friend, your best friend, Donna Adelson, was also being forced to write these checks as payment to the killers that were extorting.
I don't recall.
She says that she's sorry this has been our life for so many years. It has been torture, but your lawyer didn't want you to know what happened. I think if you did, our relationship and your with Charlie would have been much different. I hope he knew what he was doing. Your testimony was crucial. Let's see what a jury does to him and to the rest of us. You know I'm next, but that won't happen. I'll take care of that.
Was that the only time that she said that Charlie Adelson's defense was the truth during that trial?
It is not.
Okay, can you show us all the messages where she's letting people know that it's the truth? Okay, so she's sending these messages to different friends or family members saying, finally the truth is out?
That is correct. All of these messages were sent in a relatively short time frame to various friends and associates.
The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Count 2. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 2 of the indictment: conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder.
All right, and she says, I love you very much. Call if you feel like you can. Is that right?
Yes.
And how does Donna Adelson respond? Can you read that message?
Your brother protected you for years. Now you are not guilty. Your lawyer took very good care of you. You can bury me in the dress that I bought for Lincoln's bar mitzvah.
And was that sent at 5:31 p.m. on November 6th?
It was, yes.
So about 15 to 20 minutes after the verdict?
Yes.
Do you remember Mrs. Adelson texting you after the verdict and complaining that Wendy had not even called?
No, I don't.
Does that refresh your memory?
I don't. I remember her describing Harvey being on the floor and crying like a baby.
Harvey's on the floor crying like a baby, and Wendy hasn't even called, right? Isn't that what it says? If she wrote that, didn't you just see where she wrote that?
I did. She wrote that.
And you remember receiving the call from Charlie?
Yes, of course.
And where was Charlie at the time?
So he was in a room by himself. It was after the conviction.
Was he in the jail?
He was in jail.
Okay.
Because I was talking, and then all of a sudden I asked him something, and I said, Charlie, do you hear me, Charlie? And I said it a few times, and he didn't respond anymore. And I knew the call was over.
You were informed that you were being recorded if you accepted that call?
Yes.
Okay. And that if you do not want to be on that recorded call, that you needed to hang up the call. Is that right?
Are you saying, does the recording say?
Right. If you do not want to accept that recorded call, you should hang up.
If you do not, yeah, no, I accepted the recorded call.
Okay. And you typically do hang up your calls, you said, after
I think I
your
did,
calls with
yeah.
Charlie Adelson when he was in custody. All right, but this particular call that day, evidently you did not properly hang up, right?
Evidently.
Okay.
Look, I didn't say this to you before I picked up the phone, but there's a lot of things that we have to do, and we've got a very tight time frame. So one of them involves taking care of some things through Roman, taking care of some things through Steinberg. And then I'll let you know what time to call him. Can you hear me, Joey? Shit. You can't hear me again, right? Charlie? Did I want to go to sleep and not see my son? I do. Perfectly honest, I do. And what we do, we'll do it together. Leave a note, they'll know when to come together. And we'll do it together. The boy. Look, they're making a decision at some point. So after speaking to Dan this morning and knowing what they're thinking up there, I don't know if we'll make it out in time, I really don't. But Dan said, you might, or you might do all of it, get to the airport, and that could happen. It could happen, I don't know, but it's worth a try. We've been looking it up over and over. If things change, if there is extradition from Vietnam. Because we've looked at all the places, I mean, I could go to Korea and China, but there's no extradition. But we're looking for places where there's no extradition. Everything is, how many times do we have plans? I know it's cancel Wendy needs us for this, Wendy needs us to babysit. So we said, no, we're the nannies, and I guess our job is up. Because now we're going older, they can go out with friends, they can do things on their own. So she doesn't need to have her grandpa. Okay, pretty hurtful. I have one son that I don't speak with. I have one son that's close to being dead. And my daughter, whom I love, is doing this. I don't get it. I don't get it. I said to Mother, and please God, our family was cursed. Something cursed. And I don't know how to take care of it anymore.
Okay, and when did she Google list of United States extradition treaties?
It would have been on November 7th.
Okay, so the day after Charlie Adelson's verdict?
Correct.
And the same day that she got the or she first started the chat for the emergency fast track visa.
Yes.
All right, looking at this message on November 7th, is Donna Adelson saying to her friend Annie that she can't say why, but they, the Adelsons, may need you guys to come here, both of you. Wendy's not responding, and we have an issue that we cannot discuss over the phone. I know this sounds crazy, but I assure you it's not. I wish I could tell you more. Stand by. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, and then at the bottom she says Ron may have some work to do here.
Correct.
And if you know, and if you don't, just say you don't, but if you know from those same conversations with her in that state of mind that she had, did she ever discuss with you a potential plan to just get away to clear her head?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the defendant's statement that she could be buried in the bar mitzvah dress that she bought?
No, I'm not.
I guess if she was going to be buried in that dress, she probably wasn't, at least at the time she made that statement, going to be making it to the bar mitzvah. Would you agree?
No. She was always going to be making it to the bar mitzvah, as far as I knew.
Even if she was dead and buried, she was going to make it?
I never heard that.
Okay. Was she suicidal when you spoke with her? After Charlie's verdict?
Yes.
Okay. You said that under normal circumstances, they were going to make every effort to return to attend that bar mitzvah, right?
Yes.
Obviously, normal circumstances would not include a warrant being issued for their arrest for first-degree murder. That would be an abnormal
I
circumstance.
am not aware of that.
But you would agree that would be an abnormal circumstance that
Yes.
might prevent them from
By the
coming
same
back.
token, at the time, there was no warrant out for her arrest when they left.
Right, right. But might cause them to not come back, wouldn't it?
Once again,
It might cause them to not come
it
back.
might. You'd have to think twice.
Sure. And when the verdict came down on Charlie Adelson's case, do you recall Mrs. Adelson reaching out to the two of you saying maybe she might want you to come to where she was? Do you remember that?
To Vietnam?
No, sir. She wasn't in Vietnam. I don't know exactly where she was, but she said...
You mean in Florida, in the state of Florida?
Yes, sir. Can't say exactly why, but we may need you guys to come here. Remember that?
Yeah, for moral support.
Sir, at the time that the travel was booked, the bar mitzvah was less than 90 days away, right? It was in January. Do you recall giving a deposition? It was by Zoom, but I was present, August 29th, 2024. Vaguely. And in that deposition, weren't you asked, so did you make any of the decisions when to travel or how to travel, or were you just the conduit to the technology? And your answer was the conduit for the technology. Yes. But today you're saying you're the one that suggested that they fly one way.
Objection, Your Honor, improper impeachment.
Overruled.
Isn't that right? Well, to me, that's part of being the conduit, just suggesting. But what you did in reference to the travel planning was help with the computer. Yes.
Because you were more computer savvy than these two.
Correct. Okay. But today you're saying you suggested the one-way flight, right?
I just offered my suggestion.
No, I don't want to give it to you. Why do I have to? Because my attorney said not to. Why do I have to give it to you? This is evidence. Evidence. Ma'am, do me a favor. She's under arrest. I have to go with you. I have to go. I have to look at you. You don't have that choice. Let me help you out. No, I have to stay. Please don't do this. Don't stay. You need to grab the bags. Take the bags. Yeah. And you need to wait outside. Okay.
My husband's almost 80 years old. He can't
Yeah, I
come with
can't.
me?
Please, can I go? No, you can't join me there. Oh, don't do this, please.
Please.
Oh,
Someone's got
God.
to help him get home. This is terrible. You can't do this. This is insane.
And you're aware as part of the investigation that someone else actually called the state attorney's office on the day that she traveled, spoke to Jason Newland, and asked the question because they were concerned about them leaving the country. And Jason Newland at the state attorney's office said, there's no warrant, she's free to travel.
I'm not aware of that one.
You've never learned that in the investigation?
Not that I'm aware of.
Sorry, I thought you knew that.
That picture indicates that there are dishes in that closet, correct?
There are dishes in the closet, yes.
Keep those for me, please. And brush.
I'll have to clarify my last answer too. There are dishes in my spare bedroom closet, so.
I did not know that to ask that of you, but.
I just want to be honest.
Your wife says those are the holiday dishes.
They are. I am curious about these plates, but I have things to do.
Might have to have better.
They're in very nice protective cases.
Judge, I'm still hearing reactions from the gallery over my right shoulder during witness testimony. I heard it again after the court, cautioned the gallery again. I don't know what steps the court, needs to take in order for that to stop, but the fact remains that they're doing this in front of the jury, could have an impact on the jury, and it could impact my client's right to a fair trial.
Well, this is a public trial. I cannot clear the courtroom. However, who do you believe you heard making comments or in some way doing something that was intended to distract the jury? That person can be removed. Are you able to identify them?
They're behind me, Your Honor. No, all I can identify is this coming over my right shoulder.
Please be seated. I want to make this crystal clear for everyone who is observing the trial today. Should I or the bailiffs in any way notice that you are engaged in a disruptive behavior that is intended to improperly influence the jury, you are going to be removed from the trial and subject to contempt. I cannot make this any clearer at this point. Concerning the rule of sequestration, the remaining witnesses understand they are not to be in the courtroom.
I'm not aware that they have been, Your Honor.
Please scan the courtroom to make sure none of your witnesses are present so we do not have any continuing violations of the rule of sequestration.
When you were in the same pod with Donna Adelson for those months, did you become friendly with her?
Yes.
How often would you talk to her?
Every day, all day.
Did you ever outright ask her whether she did what she's accused of?
I did.
And what did she say to that?
She said she did. It was to keep her grandkids, but it wasn't supposed to go that far.
Okay. Since you had been in custody with Magbanua, once Donna Adelson knew that, what did Donna Adelson want you to do?
She wanted me to say that Magbanua told me when we killed him, I knew my boyfriend's parents had money.
Okay, so basically, she and some other people did this crime, and they did it because her boyfriend's parents had money.
Yes.
Did she offer you anything in exchange for you providing that information?
Yes.
What did she offer you?
A trailer and some land, and she would have her husband fix my teeth.
You testified that you spoke with a investigator, a woman. Was the woman white or black?
She was black.
Okay. Do you remember testifying in a hearing on this matter a couple weeks ago?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember saying that she was white?
Yes. I was confused.
You were confused by the question, or you were confused about the race of the investigator that you spoke with?
It was about the question.
So, Mr. Barnes, you said that you interviewed Miss Bird because Donna Adelson's prior defense counsel said that this may be a person who has information.
That's correct.
But that was prior to July 25 when the state listed Patricia Bird as a possible witness for the state, right?
That was August 30th, 2024.
Yes, sir. Now, after hearing this statement about how Magbanua basically lied on the Adelsons, killed Dan Markel just to extort them for their money, is that right?
That's not exactly right, but you're in the ballpark, but that's not exactly what she told me.
Now, when you heard this story, that would be very helpful, right, to Donna Adelson's case. Did you call her prior defense counsel and say, listen to what this lady's telling me? Can I have permission to record this? Can I do a recorded interview with her? This is going to be very important. You didn't do that, did you?
I did call them immediately when I left the jail, and I sent them an email with my summary within an hour.
Okay. Did you ask to go then do a recorded interview with her so you would have evidence of that?
No, I didn't ask.
Okay. And did they ask you to?
They didn't ask me. No, I told them what they told me, and if they have any additional instructions for me, I'll gladly go do what they asked me to do.
All right. Do you know why either defense counsel never listed Patricia Bird as a witness?
I have no idea.
All right, can you describe your friendship with Mrs. Adelson?
Yes, initially it was very nice. She actually called me her jail daughter, and she and I got close. And how much more detail do you want?
And did she have a nickname for you besides her jail daughter?
Yes, Sunshine.
Did she paint pictures for you and write notes to you and things like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Dear Adrena, I hope your life will be filled with love, joy, and flowers. You deserve only the best because you are the best loved daughter. Did she tell you anything about the type of relationship that she had specifically with the children of the deceased in this case?
Yes, she said she was very close with them, and every now and then she would call them her children.
And so she had some things she wanted you to say about Kay.
Correct.
At some point, did she prepare a script for you of exactly what she wanted you to testify to?
She did.
That Kay told you that she told Charlie on the night of the murder that some friends of hers went to Tallahassee and killed him. Did Kay ever tell you that?
No, ma'am.
She convinced him that the murderers think a woman is paying for this. They don't know Charlie. She told him she wouldn't tell her friends who he is. She can keep him safe. Here, she laughed about how easy it was to extort, and extort is underlined. Did you underline that, or did Mrs. Adelson underline that?
I didn't underline it.
Okay. How easy it was to extort him for the money. Charlie was scared and easy to extort. What a stupid fool. He believed her that she was keeping him safe from the killers. Ha ha, what a joke. Is that the type of language that Katherine Magbanua would use?
No.
Do you know her well enough to tell this jury that she wouldn't say something like, you know, what a stupid fool, ha ha, what a joke?
Yeah, she wouldn't talk like that.
Okay, and you said she promised you other things in the future. What other types of things?
$10,000, a grand piano.
Concerning those rights as to whether you will remain silent or whether you will testify, have you made a decision concerning this matter?
I haven't. I'm not prepared to make that decision. This decision affects the rest of my life.
Mrs. Adelson, you're in the same position as every other criminal defendant who faces trial. Ultimately, you must decide whether you will testify or whether you will not. I cannot make you testify. Your attorneys cannot make you testify. But ultimately, you must choose whether you will testify or not.
I don't have to choose. shoes, I was hoping I would have some time to speak to my attorney.
This has already been discussed, ma'am. What is your choice?
Judge, since I was handling prior witnesses while Ms. Fulford was speaking with Ms. Adelson, can I have a few minutes, please?
What exactly are we going to accomplish that we have not been able to since the trial started, pre-trial, the long recess yesterday, or even the lunch break today?
That's what I'm trying to determine, Your Honor.
I will give you exactly 5 additional minutes. From there, Mrs. Adelson has to make a decision whether she will testify or whether she will not.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We are not finished with the colloquy quite yet. I am not talking for the sake of talking. Before we have to move into any contempt, we do need to move on. Mrs. Adelson, the question remains, as it relates to your right to remain silent and your right to testify, what is your decision concerning these 2 rights?
This time I don't want to testify.
Very well. Has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
We have.
If you please can hand the verdict form to the bailiff. Having reviewed the verdict form, it is in its proper order. At this time, I will publish the verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1 of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Mrs. Adelson, control yourself. Count 2. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 2 of the indictment, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Count 3. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 3 of the indictment, solicitation to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. And it is signed and dated by the foreperson. One moment. Members of the jury, the bailiff will escort you to the jury room. Mrs. Adelson, while this was not the outcome I'm sure that you desired, there will not be any further outbursts in front of the jury. If you cannot control yourself, I am going to have to determine if you will be removed from the remainder of this process. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
Do you need a moment to collect yourself? Before the jurors are brought back in, we will take a brief 2-minute break. Please give her tissues if she needs them.
Danny's murder was orchestrated by his former mother-in-law, Donna Adelson, and other co-conspirators, and is a crime of cruelty. It is a murder of grief, a murder of selfishly prioritizing one's own desires over what is just or right. And at its core, this was a murder of convenience, so that one grandmother could live closer to her grandchildren. She killed their father and ripped the children from the other grandparents' lives. Donna Adelson's crimes against Dan began long before his murder. She belittled Dan in front of his children. She spread lies about it and contributed to a brutal separation between Dan and Wendy. She rented the house, and Dan came home and he found that Wendy and the boys were gone with most of their belongings. He called this devastation Pearl Harbor. Donna's eagerness for Wendy to divorce Dan and to relocate to South Florida led her to increasingly devise desperate schemes. Despite these efforts, the court ruled that Wendy could not move the boys away from their loving father. Failing to achieve her goal through legal means, Donna finally resorted to orchestrating Dan's murder. She plotted, planned, and paid for his murder. Donna's crimes led to further devastation. Her middle son, Charlie, was convicted and sentenced to a life in prison for his role in facilitating Danny's murder for hire. Can you imagine a mother involving a son to complete a murder? Donna's eldest son, Rob, an honest and decent man, is estranged from the family, and her younger child, Wendy, has decided once again to relocate to another state. Prior to her arrest, Donna's recorded phone calls with Charlie reveal their lack of a moral compass or capacity for self-reflection. She blames external forces for her family's curse. They're outside of her, but she is the curse.
Donna's selfishness, cruelty, and complete disrespect for human life, along with that of her co-conspirators, have left families forever broken. Louis Rivera, his children have no father. Katherine Magbanua and Sigfredo Garcia, their children have no parents. Charlie Adelson, his son, Roman, has no father. Rob Adelson and his wife and their 2 children have lost their uncle and grandparents. Shelley and Ian, my daughter, their 3 children, my grandchildren, are left without an uncle and are separated from their cousins. Of course, their heinous and callous actions have left me, Ruth, and Shelley without our Danny, and Ben and Lincoln without their father. For anyone to commit such a cold-blooded, unprovoked act of murder is horrific. For Donna, someone who claims to care so much about Ben and Lincoln, her sun shines. Her actions are beyond comprehension. She has harmed forever the people she claims to have loved. In the Jewish custom, we have an expression to always wish others to live to 120 years of age. For Donna, I wish her to live to 120, alone in her jail cell. I wish that every day of her remaining days she thinks about the harm she has caused to so many, especially those 2 boys she claims to have loved so much. For these reasons, Your Honor, I ask the court sentence Donna Adelson to the maximum possible sentence. And my only short question to Donna, was it worth it?